Hi, I'm Kelly Forshaw-Smith, Head Medical Trainer for the Finishing Touches Group and also Director and Technician of Medicos London. Today I have
Hi, I'm David Hoffer.
joining us, and his topic today is the importance of consultation. So David got into SMP purely because he had it done himself and he absolutely loved it. Since then, in his words, he was a do-gooder, so he wanted to make other people feel the way he did after having his hair restored. He's based in Huntington Beach in Southern California, and he's been doing SMP for over 7.5 years. He's also the manager for Bishop SMP, one of the world's leading in SMP products. I have actually had the pleasure of meeting David myself, and I can honestly say that I've never met such a gentle, honest, humble, and damn right decent guy. So David, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, you're welcome, Kelly. It's my pleasure. It's good to see you again.
You too, you too. So how have you been?
I have been, well, that's kind of a loaded question. I've been okay. We'll say I'm healthy. My family's healthy.
Yeah.
I still have a roof over my head. Still working a little bit, so I'm good.
Good, good. Well, hopefully with what we're doing today is we're going to give some people who maybe are thinking of having the treatments done themselves or technicians themselves, maybe a better idea of what they can expect. So your topic today is the consultation. So you mentioned that you'd had it done before, but what was the reason after having it done yourself, the procedure, what was it that made you want to get into SMP?
Well, I come from an art background. I've always been an artist. I started as a cartoonist, then an illustrator and a graphic designer. And when, I had it done and I looked at myself in the mirror and I actually liked what I looked like. And it was something I knew I can do. I didn't have any tattoo background. I didn't have any kind of background like that, but it's something I knew I can do. I have enough art skill to know I can do something. I just had to figure out how. And I learned, I practiced, I taught myself. I took some classes and I just tried to perfect my art. And every day I try to perfect it even more and more. I'd never say I'm the best, but it just made me want to help other people. I felt so good, and nobody else cared. I cared about how I looked, and I know people want to look better and feel better. So it had to be something I had to do. I just had to.
I've seen your work. I think it's absolutely fantastic. So with the topic that we're talking today is what makes a good consultation.
What makes a good consultation? Well, it's a male dominated industry, mostly because women have gotten into it recently, but for me it's easy. Is when someone walks in the door, they see what it looks like. I can show them my head. They can say I've never seen it in person. I say this is what it looks like. So I have an advantage being a male practitioner. I can relate to how it feels as a male to have hair loss, to going through the struggles, to try those horrible comb overs. I never used product. I never wore toupees or anything like that, but I can relate. So when people come in, I make them feel very comfortable and welcome. I'm not very clinical. I'm very comforting. My office is very cozy and warm.
Yeah.
I just make them feel like they're speaking to a friend, and it kind of relieves their anxiety and their tension a little bit. And then I just talk to them, and I use 4-letter words. I curse. I talk like a real guy.
Yeah.
And it helps. It helps people feel comfortable.
How long roughly does your consultations take?
I would say about an hour, but everybody's different. I've had some people come in, they look at my head, they said, done, let's do it. And they're gone within 5 minutes. I've had consultations at sometimes 2 hours because people are very skeptical, and I totally understand.
Yeah.
So they want to see tons of pictures and maybe speak to clients. Sometimes I'll have past clients come in. If I know the consultation is kind of on the fence, I'll have one of my past clients come in and they can see and speak to a real client, which helps out a lot too.
Do you recommend that they shop around, or do you say, oh, go and chat to another technician and then come back to me, or do you try and keep them with you and obviously wanting to book in straight away?
No, you know what? I am so confident in what I do. I always, and maybe it's not a good business idea, I always tell people shop around. And what I do is I kind of challenge them. I say, listen, you don't know me. You read my reviews online. How do you know they're real? You see my pictures. How do you know they're real? You shouldn't. And I tell people, don't just trust everything you see or read. Do your research. Go talk to other people. If you like them better than you like me, then maybe that was meant to happen. But that's why I offer other things. I offer my past clients' phone numbers. I've had potential clients meet my past clients and they meet up for lunch or something, and they look.
Perfect.
I even offer sometimes the a potential client to come in and watch me do a procedure. I mean, now it's a little difficult with these regulations, but because they want to see that what I'm doing is real as what they see on on my pictures on my Instagram or whatever.
It's like a little SMP meetup.
Yeah, and it's funny because when that happens, and when you get a bunch of guys in a room, it's like it's I don't know, it's like barbershop talk. Everybody just starts talking and kind of interacting, and it's a good vibe. And
Yeah.
Sure enough, my closure rate is pretty good.
Okay, that leads me on to, so what have you got any tips for how to, when someone walks through the door, they have the consultation, do you have any tips of how to convert that lead?
Just be real.
Yeah.
I wish there was more to it than that, but just be real. Be honest with them. Tell them what to expect. Make sure that their expectations aren't too high, and just prove everything to them and go above and beyond. I try to go above and beyond.
Yeah. Okay, that leads me into, if their expectations are very high and like the red flags are going and you think, geez, like I'm not sure about this. Is there a polite way, or what way do you tell someone that you might not be the technician for them?
Okay, well, there is some times where you have to be brutally honest with people. I had a gentleman one time. He was wearing a hairpiece, or hair system, he called it, and he was quite old, and his hair system was very black. Okay. It's totally not natural looking at all. He was wearing all black clothes. He was a Hollywood type guy, and he goes, I want to take off my hair system and I want to go with the shaved head look, but I want it to be black. And I said, well, what do you mean you want it to be black? I said, a shaved hair looks like a 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah.
He goes, no, everybody in Hollywood knows me as the guy that's black. I wear black. I dress in black. Everything is black. So I want it to be black. And I said, well, it's not going to look natural, but this is what I want. I'll pay you.
Oh.
I don't want your money. It's not going to look good. And maybe I'm not your best person for it. And then there's some people I politely say, I don't think I can do what's best for you if somebody wants to add density and they don't have much hair, yet they don't want to shave it. I say, listen, it's not going to look good. I know some people that may do it and they may change your mind, but it's not something I'm willing to do because I'm an ethical artist and I wouldn't do it. So that's a tough one.
At the moment, obviously with everything going on, are you doing online consultations at all? Would you recommend that?
I would recommend it. Yeah. I think just like what we're doing now. I mean, I can see you just fine. We're speaking and, in real time. I think it's great. I think I've only had one or two. People aren't scared to come to my office.
Yeah.
It's very laid back here in Huntington Beach. It's only me and another client. If they want me to wear a mask, I will. If we want me to social distance, I will. People are pretty easy, but I would offer it for sure.
I mean, we always had good PPE before, so it's just stepping it up that extra notch, with the, I mean, maybe with the mask, with some people wear goggles, some people wear scrubs, some people wear aprons, like obviously in the UK, obviously we do all of those things anyway. But I mean, it's just stepping it up that little bit more. I know obviously you used to do an imaging service as well, which I absolutely love. And are you still doing that? Do you still offer that as a consultation?
Yeah, absolutely. I still do it. And I do it real time when someone is in my office. I'll actually say, hey, have a seat over there. I'll take a picture of you and I'll show you what I'm going to do on the computer. It's really good and it works and it helps people visualize themselves. Like if I take a picture of myself and I can see what I look like with a hairline, I can adjust it if they want it back further or lower or whatever. I do a lot, but not as much because there's so many good apps nowadays and people can do it themselves. And I mean, when I started doing it, I was kind of the only one doing it and it was a custom service. But now, I mean, look, you can put your face on somebody else's body and it looks real. So the apps
I quite often do that.
Yeah. So I do it and it does help my clients really, because when you see your face with something that you want to see your face with, like a hairline or maybe eyebrows or something like that, it can really help you make a decision and say, yeah, I like the way it looks. So,
do you ever draw it in?
What do you mean?
Like the hairline. So say someone's coming to you, obviously you've got the imagery service, but like before you had all of that, I mean, you've come from a graphic design background as well, haven't you? But before you had that, would you ever draw it in, or do you think it doesn't really make a difference?
You mean with like a pencil or something, a makeup pencil? No, I've never done that. I know people that do, and it's good. I even had clients come in and they say, I used to do that myself just so I can see. To me, it just doesn't give it a realistic look because it's all colored in. But I mean, it would work. It definitely works.
I mean, I'm not sure about you, but what's your view on, when someone says, I'm going to bring in my my girlfriend, or I'm going to bring in my mother or my father or whoever, and they come in. I don't know if
Yeah.
it's the same thing in SMP. I haven't really had much of it, but I know that for the medical, that they get, all of a sudden they become this professional, like their friend or their boyfriend, and they go, well, I think just a little bit here or a little bit there, and you think, I didn't know you did medical micropigmentation.
Yeah,
What's your view on having someone else in the room? Because obviously there's advantages and disadvantages.
yeah, you're right. I tend to like it because some people, usually on their first session, they're nervous, so they want somebody with them. I have recently had a wife that was in here, and she was constantly looking over my shoulder, and you need to do more there, and you need to do more there, and it's fine. I don't mind. But most of the time they get disinterested pretty quick, because all I'm doing is a bunch of little dots, and they look and they'll look and then they'll look and like, okay, I'm bored, and they'll go off and watch TV in the other room. It doesn't really bother me. I like to talk a lot during my procedures. I tell stories of funny clients I've had or certain things, and it makes time go by quick, and I can concentrate. Surprisingly, I can concentrate more on SMP when I'm talking.
Okay.
When it's quiet, I don't know. It's kind of weird to me, but
everybody's different. At the moment in the UK, it's crazy. Someone has decided that you're not to play any music in a clinic in case you sing.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
I know. Talk about like the last of the joys.
Where has common sense gone? It's out the door.
I know.
I'm sorry if I should be wearing a mask right now, because you may catch it through the internet line.
Oh, I love it.
My goodness.
Is a consult a sales opportunity, or is it just assessing the treatment area?
It's a little bit of both. I don't ever go into anything as a sales, because I'm not a sales guy. I can't sell anything unless I believe in it. I believe in this.
Yeah.
And I always tell somebody that too. I said, wow. And I said, trust me, this isn't a sales pitch. I like to educate somebody, teach them a little bit about the procedure, how it's done correctly versus incorrectly, why it needs multiple sessions, why how you have to take care of it, all that stuff. It's an educational thing.
Yeah.
And I don't pressure anybody. I say, you know what, I'd love for you to come in the door, but if you find somebody else that you feel is a better suit, I always warn them. So just be careful, make sure you're getting the right person, but it's never a sale. No.
And is there any contraindications of why you can't treat somebody?
Yeah, most people think that everybody is a perfect candidate, but it's not true. I'll be honest, I don't assess everybody's skin. I don't get doctors' reports from their dermatologist to see if they have anything. Obviously, I have paperwork that they have to know if they have any kind of skin issue, psoriasis or eczema or anything like that. Obviously, their head can't be sunburned or anything like that, or dry or flaky. I've had some flaky headed scalp kind of dandruff, and I have to send them home. And I say, you got to go do some moisturizing for a week and then come back and see me.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. In the consultation, I think it's quite, you need to see the person before you do the treatment. Yeah. You can't necessarily see them straight away and think, oh, I'll tattoo you straight away. You need to make sure, see how the scalp's reacted, see how it is, what condition it is, tell them what to do, go prep it. Yeah. And also get prepared, think about it a little bit more, because it is going to be there. It's not just for Christmas, it's for life. It's going to be there. Like, I don't know if you guys have that over in America, actually.
No, you're spot on with that, because I have had people, I go through the consultation, I'll show them the imaging service. They get so excited, like, let's do it now.
Yeah.
And even if I'm ready, I have nobody else booked for the day, I will always say, you know what, let's wait. Because I want them to really think about it. And I know they're excited, but I don't want the excitement to turn into, being, what's the word, irrational.
Yeah.
Just think about it. Plus, it's a good opportunity to have them go home and maybe cut their hair to the right length and do all the correct things to make that canvas nice and pretty.
Yeah. I mean, do you offer a patch test?
I offer it. I've never had to do one.
Never had to do one. So in England, we in general, we do a patch test unless your insurance states that you don't need to.
No, I can honestly say I've never done one.
Yeah. And what products, just out of interest, what products are you using currently yourself?
Products, you mean
as
SMP
in inks and needles?
Oh, and okay. Machine. So I use Bishop SMP wand, which is a machine. I use the Bishop SMP needles, which are fantastic. And I also use the Bishop ink, which is derived from their very high quality tattoo brand of ink that is very successful for decades. It's been a very successful tattoo brand of ink, and they also make this SMP ink as well. So it's tested and tried.
The pre-mixed one, so it's already made. That's the one I like. But you do also have one that you can dilute down as well. Is that correct?
Yeah, some people are comfortable with that process, adding water to it and mixing it themselves. I like to use the pre-blended ink. There's really not that much deviation between the light and the medium and the medium and the dark. I mean, there is, but just adding some mixtures of the two will get you a great mixture. That's just my preference.
And another question: do you believe in layering rather than hammering in? Do you believe in slowly, or how many sessions do you normally take on average?
Average for me is about 4.
Okay.
And usually the fourth one is maybe a month later, or maybe 2 months later. So I typically do 3 in a row. I do 1 week in between. Some people like to do 10 days or 2 weeks. I can do 1 week in between, and I do layer it. And I layer it just the way it was taught to me. You know, give some space and then go in the next time and go in between those, and then go in next time and go in between those. And then most people need a 4th session, whether it be because of normal fading, but that you can assess that after a month, and then that's almost like a fine tuning. So you call it a session, but it's like a fine tuning.
Yeah, no, I like that. I think that's what the saying, Rome wasn't built in a day. You've got to slowly add it in. That's with anything in our industry, the medical, the cosmetic, the SMP, slowly add it in. So like, obviously when someone comes to you as well, I don't know, it's the same thing as you, like when they come to me and they tell me about the situation. First of all, I ask them, how can I help? What's the area of concern? Rather than saying, so you're here to, sort out your head or sort out your hair loss. Sometimes I think the wording that we use needs to be a little bit softer, empathetic to what they're going through. Is that the sort of approach that you go with?
It's a little different because this is all I do. All I do is you work on areolas. You work on whether it be a burn survivor. You work on so many different issues. I was there with you when you worked on. Sorry, what was that lady's name? Beautiful lady.
Shanita.
And she had so many things that she had to accomplish. You had to accomplish with her. I remember with the eye, that was crazy to me. But with scalp micropigmentation, it's just bald heads, and people come in and I can see right away what they need. I've had some people that say, "Oh, I only need a little bit in the front here," and then you look at the top and they're completely bald. But it's fairly straightforward what they want.
Do you do women densification and male densification as well?
Yep, I do.
Yeah, I mean, have you found that recently the female densification has, I think it has anyway, but obviously you do a lot more than me, but skyrocketed?
I don't get very many females. I don't know if females get a little bit intimidated by a male. I mean, I already know it's a gender thing. If I'm a guy, if I'm losing my hair, I don't want a pretty woman working on it because I'm already insecure. I feel more comfortable going to a guy that relates. Whereas maybe I'm not a woman, so I can't speak for women. But maybe it might be the same. If you're starting to thin a little bit, maybe you don't want to go to a guy. You want to go to a woman that can, comfort you the same way. I'm a guy.
My clients love having a treatment.
Well, look at you. You're beautiful. I would love it too.
But I know, I see what you mean, as in, like, some people feel more comfortable, but in general, like, I think as long as they're doing their research, they're buying into the people. So quite often, like being a trainer, quite often I get people saying to me, "Oh, but that person's been doing it for a lot longer than I have." The person will buy into you. They buy into you like a piece of artwork. If you saw a painting on the wall and you saw it and you thought, "Oh, that looks nice," you buy it because you like it. It is the same thing as when someone's buying into you with a consultation. Like you said, completely true. You're honest, you're real, which is you down to the ground. But people are buying into you. They want to have a treatment done by you because it's an experience.
But the thing about me, and maybe it's a little different, is I'm very humble. I don't put myself out there much. You don't see many pictures of me, many videos now, except for this one. When I mean, social media helps out a lot of people that like to be in front of the camera. So you can kind of get an idea of what their personality is like.
Yeah.
And then you can say, oh, I like the way that person talks. They seem like they're a real nice person. So that's what you said. They're buying into you.
Yeah.
Not too many people know me. I don't put myself out. My work is out there, but people don't know me.
You
Not
should.
until they
I
come.
think everyone needs to know David Hoffer. I love David Hoffer.
Oh, thank you. I love you too. I'm kind of shy when I get in front of the camera, and maybe that's a good thing because it shows how real I am. I don't know. It's just not a comfortable thing. And sometimes you have to go past your comfort level. And that's why I'm doing this with you. I'm very nervous. I'm very nervous right now, just to let you know.
You don't need to be nervous.
Yeah, but people don't know me. They see my pictures, they see my work. Once they come and they meet me, I don't know if this is coming across as egotistical, but once they meet me, they're pretty sold because I'm a real person. They're like, wow, I trust you. And I've had people say, I don't know why, but I trust you.
Yeah.
And I said, well, that's a good thing, and you should trust me. But
in England, we describe it as in the bag.
In the bag. I like that. In the bag. Do you have to do that too?
Or you'd have to do that. You have to do see, try, and buy. That's what I always say. See, try, and buy. People, like you said, people are buying into you. Well, I think, is there any more questions with the consultation? With when someone comes to you, any tips that you would give maybe to someone starting out, wanting to do a really good consultation? Someone who makes a good consultation an excellent consultation.
I mean, that takes two. It takes the artist, practitioner, whatever you want to call me, and it takes the client. They have to be willing to listen and learn and understand what they're going through by explaining to them everything. I mean, I explained all the way down to the ink and the needles and the process. I call it a process. It's a procedure, and I say it's a process. Just like we said, it's like building a house. You can't just build a house. You have to build the foundation, and then you build the frame, and then you do all the exterior stuff, and then you add the landscaping. It's a procedure, and it takes time. And if people are willing to be patient and take time, then they're okay. Some people that are willing, I need it done before Christmas. That's not realistic. So
I guess in the consultation, people are vetting you, but you're also doing that the other way around, thinking, actually, is that a patient that I want to take on as well?
Absolutely. It has to be. There's a bond between what we do and between us and our clients. I have always said, most of my clients, they come in as clients and they walk out as friends because I build a relationship with them in here. We're spending a lot of hours together. We're very close. I'm helping them with something that is very meaningful to them. What I'm doing for them is I'm providing something. When they look at themselves in the mirror, they can't lie to themselves when they look in the mirror. They have to like what they see. And I'm responsible for doing that. So it's a very intimate thing, whether it's male or female or anything. It's very intimate, and we're building a relationship. And if you can build a relationship in a consultation and have them trust you, I already know that once they sit in the chair and I get started, they're gonna love it. Yeah. But it's getting them to that. And if you can do that, you gotta be real. You gotta be genuine and real. Yeah. And I think that's the number one thing with a good consultation.
Yeah, and also, like you said, the honesty. Like if it's not something that you can achieve, or their expectations are something completely off the scale, then they need to be informed that that's why and the reason why, so that they can then assess, and then they can work out from there of what it is that they want. Do they still want to have the treatment done, and do they still want to have it done by yourself as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've had people that wanted something that I couldn't achieve, and I think maybe someone else could. And I'll recommend go try somewhere else. Maybe it's just not for me.
Yeah, no, 100%. David, this has been brilliant, and I think it's been very helpful, hopefully, to anyone that tunes in. If you have any questions, then obviously they can contact yourself or myself, or they can write in the comments below. And then hopefully it's helped somebody. I know it's definitely helped me with a consultation as well. Things to look at, pointers to see. So it was all about consultation, and I think that you've answered it very, very well.
Yay.
Thank you so much, David, and I will speak to you very soon.
Okay.
All right, darling. Lots of love. Take care.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.